Welcome back to my channel. My name is Kelly Morgan. I'm a registered dietitian, and today we're going to do a juicy Q&A. I asked some questions over on Instagram. I'm going to answer them while making juice, and I have to admit, there's not too much juicy about me. I don't think I'm boring. I actually think I'm a very fun person, but I'm not wild. I'm not crazy. This is the juice. This is the juice. Let's get some good stuff in us. When I juice, I like to do 2 different juices and then I put them in my refrigerator. I'm using the Breville. I do have the all stainless steel one, which I love. I want the Nawa juicer, and I actually reached out to the company to see if they wanted to work with me, and I have not heard back, so I will keep you posted. When I tell you that every coupon code I have asked for, I mean it. The companies that reach out to you are just like weird, and I have very good taste. So let's start with celery. Good old-fashioned celery juice. I love to juice celery. It makes a ton of juice. I think it's delicious. Don't come at me, medical medium fans. I do add other things to my celery juice because straight celery juice is straight up nasty. So to like celery juice, I add cucumber, lemon, a little bit of apple, and ginger, and it's delicious. I realize making juice and talking is not a good combination because the juicer is so loud. So this juice is so hydrating. You just feel it hydrating your body when you're drinking it. So I first started juicing. So if you don't know my backstory, I became a dietitian because I wanted to heal myself and then help others. I've always had a passion for nutrition. I realized when I was like 11, 12, that how I felt was connected to how I ate. But I do have a very strong appetite. I eat more than my husband, who's twice my size. I love eating. I'm a total sugar addict. So I struggled. I really, really struggled for a long time. And when I decided that is it, I really need to work on healing my body, I really dove into the literature. I found juicing, and I juiced every day for years and years and years. And then I found Juice Plus, which is the supplement that I take. And honestly, I feel just as good taking Juice Plus as I do juicing, and it's much more efficient and not as expensive. It's expensive to juice. I mean, back then I was spending $30 to $50 a week juicing, and that was 13 years ago. I can't imagine how much it would be if I juiced as much now as I did then. But I'd like to have a little experiment. I like to have an experience with my juice. So I do put it in these jars just like you would use if you were going to get some juice. That's good. It's smooth. It's delicious. I like going out and buying juice, but I have a very hard time spending. This would be like $15 at the juice bar, and that is insane to me. So let me answer the first question I had was, what does your typical morning look like? Which I thought, well, that's a great question to ask, thank you. So Maxwell, our mornings are crazy, you guys. Maxwell still sleeps in our bed. So I'm woken up by Maxwell every morning. He's usually climbing on top of me. He's very sweet in the morning. That's why I like sleeping with my kids. They say the cutest things when they wake up. They're so sweet, and it keeps them a baby longer, in my opinion, because he's almost 5, but right before bed, in the first, 15 minutes in the morning, he's very sweet and cuddly like a baby. So we wake up very slowly. There's no jumping out of bed with an alarm clock. I set an alarm just because I have 2 older kids that need to wake up and go to school. And then when my husband's been working from home, anyways, we don't even need an alarm clock because we have Max. He's kind of like a farmer. When it's dark outside, he sleeps late. When it's the summer, he wakes up early. So he wakes up he starts moving around 6:30, but we don't get out of bed till like 7:30. He likes a snuggle, and I do not get in bed till like 10:30 or 11. So I need my sleep. My son plays football. And it's hot here. I live in Arizona, so he doesn't get home. I pick him up at like 9:30. Sometimes we don't get home till 10, and then I have to like wind down. So I start by snuggling Mr. Max. Then I get up, and I immediately have coffee. I wish I could tell you I had lemon with water, but no, I hit that coffee pot hard. I take Miss Goldie out to go potty. I go wake my other dogs up because they're old. I have to wake them up in the morning to go potty, and then I empty the dishwasher while I drink my coffee. If I do not do that, that is like my morning. It just sets my brain off. Like, that is my morning routine. I drink it. I like to keep my kitchen very clean. And then I take the kids to school, or my husband does, but I always take Max. And then I work out. I work out every morning before breakfast. That has always been one of my things. I do not allow myself to have breakfast until I work out. And that's not like a punishment thing. I love working out, but I'm a ditty daddler in the morning. Like, I can spend 2 hours putzing around, picking up, cleaning, doing laundry. You know how it is as a mom. It's like, there's a million things to do besides take care of yourself, but I do get hungry. So I make myself work out before I have breakfast just so I get it done like in the day. And I'm a big walker. I either walk outside or I do the treadmill, but if I do the treadmill, I run and walk just because it's kind of boring. I like to go 4 miles a day, and I don't want to walk on the treadmill for an hour. So I usually run the first 3 miles, and then I walk the last mile, and then I like to do some sort of toning every day. 5 days a week, I do something, and I'm going to do a whole video on my workout routine because I do get asked that a lot, because I'm not like a crazy like CrossFitter, marathon runner, but I do believe in daily gentle movement. My thought is I always want to do stuff that's helping my body. I never want to push my body to an extreme so I can't walk, because I would go crazy if I couldn't get my walk in every day. My walk is my time. I'll take Max, and every now and again I'll go with a friend, but I really like to go by myself. I either listen to a podcast or I'll call a friend, but it's like my time just to like zen out. And then I come home and I make breakfast. And if I'm gonna do juice, I'll drink my juice while I'm making my breakfast. The reason I love juice so much, you guys, is I know some people are like, oh, you shouldn't juice, you should do smoothies because you have the fiber. Well, you know I love fiber, but why can't we do both? Why can't you juice and do smoothies? Sometimes I'll drink my juice while I'm making a smoothie. The juice has been stripped of its fiber. And if you eat it or drink it on an empty stomach, you don't have to digest it, but you're getting all the nutrients. So it's going straight to your blood. It's getting in the cells of your body to nourish you. And that's why it's so healing. And that's why when I was healing my body, that's why I was drinking a lot. I have IBS and I had really leaky gut. I was covered in bruises. If you have a leaky gut, it doesn't matter how good your diet is if you can't absorb it. You are not what you eat, you are what you absorb. I'm gonna prep the stuff to make my second juice. The second juice is my favorite, but let me tell you more about my morning routine. So then I have my smoothie, and now you guys might think this is funny. My husband thinks it's hilarious. I eat my smoothie in the tub, and I feel like I'm a princess. I make a huge smoothie, I eat it with a spoon, and I sit in the tub and eat it. So I don't know when I started doing that. Maybe I was cold one day, so I sat in a hot tub, but I love it. It's like, I always say it's like my me time, but it's everything that I say is my me time plus Max. He's always with me. So it's my me time plus Max. And you know, when he was really little and a super messy eater, it was really nice because he would share the smoothie with me. And then if he made a mess or got, blueberries all over his face, it didn't matter because we were in the tub. So I would just rinse him off. So it was very convenient. But I love my tub time. I would rather be late somewhere or not have time to put my makeup on and do my hair, like have to wear a baseball cap, than not do my tub time. I want to take a 45-minute bath every day. And I know that sounds very luxurious, but that's my thing, you guys. I love bath. I love a big bath. So we have a big bathtub and I love it. So I do that every single day, and then I get ready for the day. And then usually after that, and I'm always momming in between all this, so all of this takes me forever, you guys. I'm never ready to go anywhere before noon. And then if I'm going to film stories for Instagram, I like to do that when my makeup is fresh and I look my best. And then I'll work for a little bit, I'll film my stories and I check all my work stuff, and then I'm pretty much done working for the day. And then it's just straight up mom time, pick up my other child from school, and then it is on till bedtime, straight up momming 24/7. Okay, so this juice that I'm making, it is my favorite. It is going to be lemon, ginger, apple, pineapple, carrot. Let me tell you, if there is a beauty juice, it is this one. Carrot juice is so good for your skin. If you drink enough of it, which I've never done, I would love to, you can actually get a little bit of an orange glow to your skin. It's full of vitamin A, which is amazing for skin health. So look at the people on Instagram. Like, look at the people who juice and eat a raw diet. I'm not raw, that's like total goals. Look how they look in their 70s and 80s. They're so full of life. They're beautiful. They're vibrant. The whites of their eyes are bright. They have so much energy. Do you want to look like that? Or do you want to like be going to the doctor and like your orthopedic shoes when you're 70? I want to live as vibrant of a life forever. And that's why I juice, I smoothie, I take my Juice Plus, I make my own treats. I love to eat, probably more than you do. Honestly, I love to eat. That's why I make most of my stuff. So I can still have those treats, but I'm also giving my body fuel, food that it needs. It's helping my body, not hurting my body. So in a perfect world, I would juice every single day, but I probably get juice in 4 times a week, and that's good. If I ever won the lottery, you know what I would hire? I would hire someone to make me juice every morning. Or maybe I would just go out and get juice every day. But gosh, $15 is a lot for juice, isn't it? I like those big ones. So I'm gonna take the top off of these carrots, and you don't have to skin them or anything like that. You just wash them off. And I have like a big old bag, I'll show you. A big old bag of carrots. This is the second time I've made carrot juice, and I'll probably be able to make it 1 or 2 more times, but this is so big I have to keep it, or so big I have to keep it out in the outside fridge. Okay, what were some of my other questions? When did I become vegan? I actually don't consider myself vegan. I love the word plant-based, but you know, when it comes to like hashtags and like growing your niche and all that, you kind of have to have a word for what you are. I don't really identify as vegan, although I'll use that hashtag because I just, you know, want people who want to follow vegan diet to follow me. Just because I've never, like, I like my leather handbags, and I'll eat honey, and occasionally, probably a few times a year, I'll eat fish when I'm out somewhere and there's literally nothing else to eat. So I like thinking I'm like plant-based, and I really try to be as whole food plant-based as possible, but I am human and I live in the real world and I'm realistic, so I do eat, you know, some processed foods, but I just try to keep it to a minimum. But I started when I was 15. As I was saying, I had digestive issues, and I noticed meat just took a long time to digest, and it does. That's why people like it. It keeps you full. But it would sit in my stomach for days and I wouldn't go to the bathroom. So I would notice when I was eating more of like the side dishes and the fruits and the vegetables, I would feel better. So I met my best friend, who's still my best friend, when I was 15, and her mom was vegetarian, and I'd never heard that word before. And I was like, what? You don't have to eat the meat? So that's when I started really dabbling. And I've gone back and forth. And when I was pregnant with my first 2 kids, I ate meat. And like I said, now I'll do honey. Honey kind of makes me bloated, so I don't do a lot of honey, but I have a few recipes that honey just works a million times better than maple syrup. And like I said, I'll eat fish a few times a year. But I really don't look at chicken and beef. It doesn't gross me out to cook it. I'll cook it for my boys, but it's just nothing. I have no desire to put that in my body. I've never liked dairy products. I love milk chocolate just like anybody else. But I've never drank a glass of milk. I don't like yogurt. You don't see me eating plant-based yogurt either. I just don't like stuff like that. And I don't like cheese. I never did. You don't see me doing plant-based cheese either. So I really lucked out in that department. For the dairy, I'm an ice cream addict, which is why I'm now a smoothie addict, because it just tastes like ice cream to me. And that froyo got me for years, you guys. We had 2 TCBYs in the town. I grew up in West Virginia, and some days I went to both of them. When I tell you, I like to eat. Your girl likes to eat. All right, so let's make this juice, and then I'll answer one more. Okay, so I just keep adding carrots until I get to the fill line, and I know I'm gonna have enough to make 2. My daughter loves this juice too, so she'll drink it with me. My daughter so I have 3 kids. I have a daughter and then 2 sons, and my daughter eats pretty much what I eat. So it's so funny because people are like, my family doesn't eat what I eat. Well, my daughter and I, technically we eat all the same foods, but she is a savory person. She has, she could never eat a sweet again in her life and be totally fine, where I am a sweet addict and I want all my food to be sweet. If I can figure out how to make my dinner sweet, I do. I love like some sweet chili sauce. So where was I going with that? I don't know. So don't worry. If your family doesn't like to eat exactly how you eat, who cares? Just modify things so that everyone looks like they're having the same meal, but that's another video for the other day. But my daughter loves this, is what I was getting at. So, and then I have 2 sons. I have a 13-year-old, he's almost 14, and I have a 4-year-old, almost 5-year-old. Ugh, you guys, I cannot believe my baby is almost 5. Almost 5, almost 14, and almost 17, or almost 18. Life just goes by so quick, doesn't it? Okay, so another question I can answer easily is, what's your background? So I'll just go all the way back. I was born in Oklahoma. I was moved around a lot. My dad was in residency. He's a doctor. Until I was about 10, and then we settled in West Virginia, which is close to where my parents grew up, and had a normal home life. My mom was a stay-at-home mom. My dad was a doctor. There's 4 of us. So a very typical American upbringing. I was very lucky that my mom is an amazing cook. So I really hardly ever went out to eat. A few times a year, that's it. My mom likes to cook and she's good at it. And so I started dating my husband. We met in high school when I was 15, he was 17, he was a senior, I was a sophomore, and his family liked to go out to eat. So he just couldn't believe I'd never been to all these places. So he took me out to eat everywhere around town. He had to like show me everything, but it was very nice. He was a basketball player, so he'd eat half of my food and his food. And I think I actually lost weight eating out all the time. He was helping me out with my calories. And then I started my college at Marshall University in West Virginia. I graduated high school a year early, and I was very, very young. I literally had just turned 17, and 2 weeks later I started college. So I lived at home. So I've never lived in the dorms at college. I did go to boarding school my freshman year of high school, so I lived in the dorms then. So I've never lived in a college dorm. And I went to school there while my husband was finishing up his undergrad degree. And then we went to Syracuse University. That's where I did my last 3 years of my nutrition degree. And he went to law school in upstate Syracuse, New York. So that was a place to go to school, let me tell you. It's a great place to go to school. It's too cold to do anything else. So I'm a dietitian. Oh, you guys, I would drink this all day long. So good for digestion, so good for your skin. It's so healing. If you're going through any sort of sickness, anything at all, you have to make this juice. So I went to Syracuse. I got my degree in dietetics. I sat for my exam and I passed. And I worked at a local hospital for 2 years as an inpatient dietitian. I'm very old school. I do things old school. They told me you should work at a hospital for 2 years after you graduate to get experience, and that's exactly what I did to the date, to 24 months. That's exactly how long I worked there. I didn't love it, but it really was great experience, because just in the course of the day, you would see people who suffered from so many different illnesses and diseases and surgeries, and you had to really learn how to help a wide variety of people. So I feel like I saw it all and I did it all in those 2 years, and then I stayed home with our daughter, Madeline, and then I started doing consulting work. Not a ton. I really like being a stay-at-home mom. So my husband always joked that I just gave it away for free, because everybody I talked to, I wanted to give them nutrition advice and learn about their nutrition and help them. But I'd have clients here or there, and I did like some talks at health clubs here or there. And then I started working on Instagram, and here we are. Well, now I'm on YouTube right now, but here we are. And I absolutely love it, because I feel like I can still share. I really think of myself as a nutrition educator. If I was to go back and do anything, I would love to be a professor. I love nutrition education. That is my favorite thing. I don't feel like nutrition education should be like held in us, and we should only give it to people who are willing to pay hundreds of dollars to get it out from us. I really want to spread health to people, because everyone in this country is so sick and undernourished, or have too many calories but not enough nutrients. So our bodies are really struggling, and I like to try to make it simple and easy, my approach to nutrition. So I hope this was interesting. I don't know, it wasn't very juicy. If you guys have some juicy questions for me, I'll answer them. But I've been with my husband since I was 15. He was 17, happily married for how many years now? 23 years almost. I'm just crazy. I don't even feel that old. But anyways, I hope you guys make some of these juice recipes, and I hope I just inspire you to get in the kitchen. If you're just eating an apple and a cucumber, I shared that the other day. That's an easy, healthy snack. It doesn't have to be crazy. You don't have to count macros. You don't have to worry about all that stuff. Just eat plants in abundance. Don't worry about all the other stuff, and you're gonna feel okay. So if you have any other questions, leave them below, and I'll answer them in another video.